Hey guys, it's me, Delicious Delight. Today I have a review on one of the city exclusives from By Kilian. There's 5 of them, or 6 of them I think, but today I will be talking about Lemon and Zest. It is the city exclusive for Lugano, and if you haven't heard of that city, it's a European city located in Switzerland, just in the south, close to the Italian border. So actually it's a city that it's an Italian speaking city. So this fragrance really showcases the alcoholic drink of limoncello. I haven't had limoncello ever in my life, but I have had meloncello, which is kind of the same idea. It's usually served post-meal. And when I was in Rome a few months ago in February or March, whatever it was, I did have the meloncello, and it's very, very concentrated, syrupy, thick, quite alcoholic, but quite good. First of all, the notes are mandarin, lemon, vanilla, brandy, patchouli, and vetiver. Let me say, as I said, that the opening is really, really, really amazing. It reminds me a lot of Acqua di Parma Bergamotto di Calabria. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that correctly, but it does remind me of that. However, the Bergamotto is a very kind of a transparent light smell, but in Lemon and Zest, it has that same smell, but instead of it being transparent, it's very, very, very thick. And it does remind me of the post-dinner drink limoncello, even though I haven't had it. Well, I had meloncello. Anyways, whatever. It's very, very thick and creamy and syrupy, and that's the feeling that I got in the opening. And I really, really like the texture of this. It's smooth, it's creamy, it's refined, it's very specific. It's like a fluid butter. That's what it makes me feel like when I smell it. But instead of a butter smell, it's a very bright, fresh, and tart lemon smell, which is really, really, really beautiful. If I can compare it to anything that you can relate to, if you haven't tried any of these alcoholic drinks that I mentioned, it does remind me of lemon Vicks. You know those cough candies? And they're like shaped like a rounded triangle. When you're sick, they're like cough drops basically. It does remind me of that. So, but it doesn't have that powderiness in it. It's just that smell. That's what it reminds me of. It doesn't remind me of house cleaner, and that's a good thing. A lot of citrus, melon scents, kind of teeter on that line of whether they want to be house cleaner-ish or more realistic lemon. And this one is a very, very realistic lemon smell that I really, really enjoy. If you can just imagine having a bowl of whipped cream and then sprinkling some fresh squeezed lemon juice on top and mixing it so that it's kind of flat. That's what it also smells like to my nose. And it's just a really intense, creamy, dessert kind of lemon cream smell. Sorry. And I really, really, really enjoy it. I love the opening. I think it's a fantastic opening. One of the best when it comes to citrusy smells. Because I like that texture a lot. It's very, very thick, as I said, and just amazing. I was pretty hooked right away when I smelled it. But that was short-lived, unfortunately, because almost immediately, like I would say after like 2 to 3 minutes, that whole thing that I just described to you like completely vanished. And now we're into the mid. And in the mid, that bright, tart, intense, creamy lemon smell, it just totally vanished, and I was like totally left like really disappointed. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? How does it go from something so amazing into something like complete crap in a matter of 2 minutes? And for the price that they charge for this fragrance, you know, it's just really disappointing, you know? I was so disappointed, but I stuck with it and kept it on my skin and kept on testing it just to see how it would develop. And I can say with this fragrance, it does really develop on my skin. It's by no means linear at all. It's always changing and morphing and keeping things interesting. So at least that's something good I can say about it, other than the amazing opening that it has. In the mid, like I said, that everything that I mentioned that was amazing in the opening, in the mid, all that stuff vanishes and you kind of get a liqueur kind of smell in the mid, which honestly isn't so interesting. And it says in the notes here that there's brandy. I don't know, to me it was like more like a vodka smell to me, but I don't know. It just didn't remind me of brandy at all. It just reminded me of a lemon liqueur or like a lemon rum, like Bacardi, for example. That's all it reminded me of. It wasn't that special. It was just such a big difference from the opening that I was just totally let down, and I just wasn't impressed by the mid. It turned very, very, very quickly into a subtle skin scent after like 10 minutes. Skin scent, however, longevity on this lasted on me about 8 hours. So longevity is good, projection sucks. So that's another downfall of this fragrance, at least on my skin. Now let's go into the dry down. The dry down, unfortunately, this is horrible. The dry down really was even worse than the mid. And the reason why I say this is because it really, really, honestly started reminding me of Pledge furniture, wood furniture cleaner thing, that kind of, you know, like a varnish kind of smell. It was really bad. It just really reminded me of that. And I do remember this smell very, very distinctly, because I remember as a kid, we did have some wooden furniture and Pledge, and my mom would like spray it on and wipe the surface, and that smell would kind of just linger in the air quite some time after it was applied on the furniture. So I really remember that smell very, very well, and it really did smell like that on my skin in the dry down, which is so horrible. It was like not something I ever want to smell like. If you haven't smelled Pledge, it's kind of like a lemony, almost sweet vanilla, but combined with the wood kind of smell. There is no woods in the notes here, but there is, patchouli and vetiver. So maybe they blended that in a way to make it smell a little bit like woods, but that's exactly what, to me, it smelled like. Lemon Pledge. As the dry down continues, which I'm in right now on my skin, a little bit of the vanilla kind of shines through a little bit, but it doesn't do anything for me at all, because I really love vanilla. It's my favorite note, but because that strong scent of Pledge is still stuck in my mind, no matter how good the vanilla is, it just doesn't recover. It doesn't save the fragrance at all. It gets sweeter and sweeter and sweeter on my skin as the hours go, which I guess is an improvement, but like I said, that Pledge smell just is ingrained in my brain since I was a kid, and I just can't forget it, and then it's kind of like a turn off. So as I said, in conclusion, this fragrance is a perfect example of a fail, and what I mean by that is having a fragrance focusing so much on a fantastic and an amazing opening, and then not being able to follow that through. So they just it's like the fragrance totally gave up and like threw in the white towel and be like, okay. And I don't want to accept that. I don't think that's acceptable, especially from a house that charges this much money for fragrance, and they spend so much time on, you know, the aesthetics, the presentation. Fine, that's all fine and nice, and I enjoy the presentation as well. However, you know, the most important thing is the juice, and if the juice doesn't, you know, doesn't have that backbone in it, doesn't really back it up, it doesn't really match the presentation. So I just think that's kind of a letdown. It's just, it just really got really unpleasant on my skin. This is the least favorite By Kilian City exclusive. Out of the ones that I've tested, I tested 5 of them, and hopefully I will get through reviewing the rest of these. But yeah, that is all I'm gonna say about this fragrance. I'm really sorry if you like this fragrance and that you enjoy it. I am not targeting anyone, not trying to put anyone down. I just want to be honest and just have an honest opinion. And if you guys can appreciate that, then at least I can appreciate what I do as well. So that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed my review on Lemon and Zest by Kilian, and I will be back with more videos. Stay tuned for more. See you later, guys. Bye.